Today we'll see the Himalayan drainage system. Yesterday I started the first part. Today we'll see the Indo-Brahma river. What is the Indo-Brahma river? Indus or Brahmaputra. There is a belief that there is a long river starting from the Indus to Assam Valley. Yes, it is a belief only, and it is an antecedent to your Himalaya system. That is why Indo-Brahma river is your antecedent river. Yesterday I told you there are a lot of drainage pattern. There can be a lot of drainage pattern, and first one was your antecedent. Antecedent means river used to flow even before the upliftment of landforms, before upliftment of any barriers. Today we will try to see everything. Possibility of Indo-Brahma river. There are differences of opinion about the evolution of the Himalayan rivers. There is a lot of debate over this topic. How Himalayan rivers get into emerged? What is the precise reason? However, geologists believe that a mighty river called Shivalik or your Indo-Brahma traversed or cut the entire longitudinal extent of the Himalayan from Assam to Punjab and onwards to Sindh. What does it mean? Before the Himalayan, before any barrier, there used to a river system that connects from the Assam Valley to Punjab Valley, and after all drain into the Arabian Sea. There is a belief system, and there is a fact also. There is some evidence also behind this theory. Just see, onwards to Sindh. What does it mean? Onwards to Sindh means towards your Arabian Sea. The remarkable continuity of the Shivalik and its lacustrine origin and alluvial deposits support this viewpoint. The way we have the Shivalik landforms, the way we have alluvial deposits tells us that yes, there may be a one river system that starts from Assam Valley to the Punjab Valley, because the amount of deposits settled at the bottom of Shivalik suggests you this theory, because may be possible, because it was a period of that different geographical era. Yes, third point, it is open that in due course of time, Indo-Brahma river was dispersed or split into three main drainage systems because of some geomorphological processes. Because over the period of time, due to geomorphological process, this one river system got split into many parts. First one is your Indus and its 5 tributaries in the west bank, Ganga and its Himalaya tributaries in the central bank, and the stretch of the Brahmaputra in the Assam and Himalayan tributaries in the eastern part. Got divided into 3 parts. We'll see everything. That's why there is a map. You can relate with the map. Gondwana land. From there we have single system Shivalik river or Indo-Brahma river. You can say we have Tibetan region out there. Saraswati, Ghagar, single system, single river system. Yes, this dismemberment, what does it mean? The split, the fragmentation, you can say, the split of the one river system into 3 was probably due to the Pleistocene upheaval in the western Himalayas. Yes, we know our Himalayan system is a very young landforms. They are still uphealing, they are still increasing. So because of the increasing of the Himalayan system, there may some have cracks on the bottom side, on the on the plain side, and that's why they change. Yes, they change the orientation of the land, and because of the change of the orientation or because of the faults, the main river system Indo-Brahma or the Shivalik river got split into different directions and become the 3 river system. There is a belief. It is a part of one theory. The split was probably due to the Pleistocene upheaval in the western Himalayas. Yes, including the uplift of Potwar Plateau along the Delhi Ridge. Along the Delhi Ridge, because of the upliftment of the Himalayas, there will be some impact on the plain areas also, plateau region also, because plateau region is your oldest landmass. So there may be some impact on the Aravalli range, your Delhi Ridge, and when Delhi Ridge got also some different structure because of this uphealing of the Himalayas. It creates a water divide and from the different river system. Similarly, towards the east side, towards the Bihar side, there may be some fracture. The fault happen because of the uphealing of, because if any such structure uphill, it will automatically create some effect on the other side of the plain also. Simple thing, yes. Including the uplift of the Potwar plateau along the Delhi ridge, which acted as the water divide between Indus and the Ganga river system. Yes, so simple to understand. Likewise, the down thrustling, what is the down pulling of the Malda gap area between your Rajmahal hills and the Meghalaya plateau. Yes, I told you there is a plateau extension of the plateau, Deccan plateau. We can find in the Meghalaya plateau, in the Meghalaya region also. And there was a huge gap. The gap was called your Malda gap, Malda fault, and Rajo and Garo gap also. We can refer that Malda fault as a Garo and some Rajmahal hills, you can say. So because of the down pulling, because of the Komal down pulling, Ganga moved towards the Bay of Bengal. Ganga moved towards Bay of Bengal. Yes, the down pulling of the Malda gap area between the Rajmahal hills and the Meghalaya during the mid Pleistocene period diverted the Ganga and the Brahmaputra to flow towards the Bay of Bengal. If there is a gap, obviously it will flow from here and it will flow from here and merge into your Bay of Bengal. So simple to understand. We see how Delhi being a part of Potwar plateau, how they divide Indus and Ganga into two river system. Further Ganga drain off towards Bay of Bengal because of the gap, and similarly because of that gap Brahmaputra also flows down to your Bay of Bengal region. So simple to understand, so simple. There is a theory, it is not true, but it is a kind of theory. It is a very difficult to say in a true sense, so difficult. But yes, there was a theory, and this theory is given in your NCERT book, because whatever I am teaching you is straight away taken from your NCERT book. And yes, there is some value addition in this module also, but totally you can say 100% has been brought from the NCERT reference, along with some more elaboration, more explanation. Peninsular drainage system. Yes, the peninsular drainage system is older than the Himalayan one, no doubt about it, because of the old landmass. This is evident from the broad, largely graded shallow valleys and the maturity of the rivers. Yes, rivers are so mature, valleys are so different as compared to the Himalayan valley. The Western Ghats, this side, running close to the western coast, act as a water divide between the major peninsular rivers. Yes, we saw it creates a water divide because Krishna and Godavari flow from the Western Ghats to the eastern coast, discharging their water in the Bay of Bengal, and small rivulets joining the Arabian Sea also and creating a delta there. Most of the major peninsular rivers except Narmada and Tapi. So what is the reason behind the Narmada and Tapi being flowing towards the west direction? I'll tell you in this module. Because of some fracture. The Chambal, the Sindh, the Betwa, the Ken, the Son originating in the northern part of the peninsula. Yes, upper part of the Deccan plateau. Yes, tributary of Ganga also belong to your Ganga river system. Drainage basin. Yes. The other major river system of the peninsular drainage are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. You are familiar of. Peninsular rivers are characterized by the fixed courses. Yes, it has fixed courses. It doesn't have meandering capacity. It doesn't have oxbow lakes. It has a fixed courses, absence of meander, and also non-perennial flow of water, because it all depends on the precipitation from above. The Narmada and Tapi, which flows through the river, are however exception, because it follows the exception, because it it drains towards your Arabian Sea. So see, three major geological events. You see the map of India. India used to tilt like that, and with subsequent period it moves towards your east direction, and after hitting the Eurasian plate, there was a fault that is called your Malda fault. That's why we have a great depression around your Meghalaya valleys. This is the great depression. Three major geological events in the distant past have shaped the present drainage system of Peninsula India. What are the three regions? What is the three geological region? Geological, yes, movement of our plate, movement of ocean, movement of your crust, lithosphere. Because of this factor, because of the three regions that are attributed, that are related to your geomorphological process are: number one, subsidence of the western flank of the peninsula. Yes, that's why Dwarka is being submerged underwater. Western Ghats, you can say, western part of India is being substances is being gone down into the oceans. Upheaval of the Himalayas, yes, there is a constant rise of Himalayas, upliftment. And third, because if there is any structure uplift, it will automatically create some pressure on the plateau regions. Slightly tilting of a block from the northwest to the southeast direction, yes, that's why there is a depression around your Meghalaya regions. Yes, it moves towards your southwest east direction from your northwest direction, because it goes like this, and Australia towards your east direction, and Madagascar remain there, because once Madagascar, Australia and Indonesia form a single continent system. Yes, we'll try to see everything here. Yes, as I told you, subsidence of the western flank of the peninsula leading to the submergence below the sea, correct? There is a close contact between the sea because land is being submerged under the ocean during the early tertiary period. Generally, it has early tertiary period is a geographical era. It has disturbed the symmetric plane of the river on either side of the original watershed. That's why, because of the submergence below the sea level, it creates a disturbing factor, and that's why it disturbs the symmetrical plan of the river. Because symmetry means, yes, human beings are bisymmetric. Whatever we have here, we'll find a similar structure here. Because of this western coast going towards your ocean or sea bodies, it creates a upliftment. It creates some slope, and that is the precise reason why rivers flow from the Western Ghat to the Arabian, your Bay of Bengal region. Generally, it has disturbed the symmetric plan, yes, Komal, of the river on either side of the original watershed, water divide. Upheaval of the Himalayas, when the northern flank of peninsula block was subjected to, yes, there was always a constant pressure on the plateau region because of the Himalayan system. So there was a pressure on the peninsula block, and consequent through faulting, and it resulted into the faulting. There are some cracks, and through cracks, Narmada and Tapi emerged, because below the land we have water system. But with the passage of time, this river system also brings sediments, and it blocks that fault part, and become the exception as compared to the other river system of the Peninsula India. See the magic of how they transform themselves and move towards that Arabian Sea. Narmada and Tapi flow in a top faults, that the fault from the fault, and fill the original cracks with their detritus materials, with their sediments. And there is a lack of alluvial and deltaic deposits. That's why there can't be any deltaic formation because of this fault. In order to form a deltaic region, there must have some favorable conditions. That favorable condition cannot be attended with this structure. A slight tilting of the peninsula from the northwest to the southwest direction gave orientation the entire drainage towards the Bay of Bengal because of this direction, with the exception of Narmada, Tapi and Mahi river. Mahi river is not so prominent, Narmada and Tapi. Yes, we'll try to see, and we'll try to differentiate between the Himalayan system and your peninsular river system. Yes, very important, very important module in this sense. The Himalayan rivers are quite different from the rivers of the Peninsula India from the point of the view the drainage features, hydrological characteristics, how much water it possesses. Is it perennial? Is it non-perennial? How much area it covers? How much drainage basin it possesses? On the basis of that parameter, the Peninsula India can be divided in many ways with your Himalayan system. Yes, first name, this river originated from the lofty Himalayan ranges, yes, and named, that's why they are named as Himalayan rivers. But since peninsular river system originate from the peninsular plateaus, that's why they are peninsular rivers. So simple. Basins. Basins means, yes, the area which it covers, either tributaries or distributaries. The river have the large basin and catchment area. What is the catchment area? From where it catches the water. That is the catchment area. Catchment area means from where it gets the water. Komal, from where it gets the water. So this river have a large basin, large drainage basin as well as catchment area, because you know Himalayan will have a lot of tributaries. The total area basin of Indus, you see, 11.78 lakh square kilometer. Ganga 8.61 lakh square kilometer. Brahmaputra 5.8 lakh square kilometer respectively. You see the basins of these river systems. Now if you see the Peninsula India, we do not have such kind of large basin or large catchment area. The rivers have small basin as well as small catchment areas. You see, Godavari has the highest largest basins in Peninsula India, in Peninsula river system. It has only possessed 3.12 lakh square kilometer, which is less than 1/3 basins of your Indus Valley. You see, because the Indus basin of Indus is so huge as compared to your Peninsula river system, especially Godavari. Valleys. The Himalayan river flow through a deep gorges called the deep valley called the deep gorges. We have two Himalayan system, in between there is a flow of river system. These gorges have been carved out by cutting, carried on side by side with the upliftment of Himalayas, because Himalayas is still progressing, is still uphealing. And these are the example of antecedent drainage pattern. Yes, Peninsula river flows completely shallow valleys. It has not such a huge valleys, shallow valley, because there is a no much difference, because plateau is a top flat land, not a huge land as compared to the Himalayas. That's why comparatively shallow valleys. These are more or less comparatively graded valleys, and this river have little erosional activity. That's why it is a very little erosional activity. It do not bring so much sediment vis-a-vis your Himalayan river system. These are the example of the consequent drainage, because this river formed after the formation of Peninsula India. Any doubt? Have you watched my video yesterday? Water flow. The Himalayan rivers are perennial in nature. The water flows throughout the years in these rivers, correct? Because of the being proximity with the Himalayan system. This river receives water from both monsoon as well as snow melt. The perennial nature of these rivers make them useful for irrigation purpose also. Because we have a lot of water. That's why we see often on the Gangetic plain we have a lot of irrigation facility. Peninsular rivers receive water only from the rainfall. It totally depends on the monsoon and your conventional rainfall also. Water flows in this river in a rainy season only. Therefore, this river is seasonal, not perennial. But that's why it are less useful so far irrigation is concerned. Stage. This river flow across the Yongfold mountains. Yes, that's why this river system are still in very young age. But so far your Peninsula river system is concerned, this river have been flowing in one of the oldest plateau of the world and have been reached maturity. Yes, matured rivers. Correct. Meanders. Means you know the capacity to move in a different direction. Like a snake. We often see Himalayan river systems are associated with the meandering, but this cannot be found, this cannot be feasible in your Peninsula India. The upper reaches of the Himalayan rivers are highly tortuous. When they enter the plains, there is a sudden reduction in the speed of flow of water. Under these circumstances, river form meanders. Obviously, from there, automatically speed of the river, speed of the water flows will decrease and creates meander. And often shift their beds, and Kosi and Damodar are the two best example. Hard rock surface and non-alluvial character of peninsula plateau permits little scope for formation of any such kind of meanders. As such, the rivers of Peninsula Plateau follow more or less straight courses. So, it follows the same courses. It will not deviate from its original path. Deltas and estuaries, you know, they are responsible for forming this kind of estuaries. As I know you are aware of the estuary. Yes, estuary means river system made with the sea bodies and forming a very beautiful structure, and they are treated as a wetlands also. Wetland. I taught in the chapter of wetland. The Himalayan river form big delta. Yes, at their mouth, at the end, the Ganga Brahmaputra delta is the largest in the world. As you know, Bangladesh, most of the important land of Bangladesh, Sundarban, and mangroves forest. Some of the peninsular rivers such as the Narmada and Tapi form estuaries. Yes. Other rivers such as the Mahanadi, Godavari, they also form the deltas. Yes, we have seen. That's why our Western Ghats are not continuous. Sorry, Eastern Ghats are not continuous and do not have a good ports and harbour. Several small streams originating from the Western Ghats follow towards the west, enter the Arabian Sea without forming any delta. But there is a lot of stream also. Because in order to form a delta, you should have length of the river should be more, no? So that they can bring more sediments. If you do not have sediment, how can you form delta? Now we will try to see each and individual river system in a detailed manner. I have compared overall peninsula with your Himalayan river system. Now we will see Indus. It is one of the largest river basin of the world. One of the largest basin. Amazon is the largest basin. Amazon, yes, largest. But so far longest is concerned River Nile. White Nile or River Nile. White Nile, Lake Victoria. Blue Nile. From where? From not Egypt. From that place, Ethiopia. And Ethiopia is constructing a dam, Renaissance Dam. This is creating a problems in Sudan as well as Egypt. It's related to your current affairs. Yes. It is one of the largest river basins of the world with a total length of, yes, I told you, approximately 3000 kilometers. But India shares only around 1200 kilometers. Okay. The Indus, also known as the Sindhu. You know about this thing. Westernmost part of the Himalayan river system in India. Yes, Punjab region, Gujarat. It originates from where Indus gets originate? From a glacier near Bokarchu. It is very, very important. See closely. It originates from a glacier near Bokarchu. Here 31 degree 15 minute north latitude and 81 degree 40 minute east longitude. Very, very important information. In the Tibetan region, what does it mean? It originates from the glacier of Bokarchu of Tibetan region at an altitude of 4000 meter in the Kailash mountain range. Kailash mountain range is responsible for producing, or you can say, or originating your Indus river system. From there it originates, and from Kailash Parvat, Kailash mountain, you have certain glacier, and that glacier is called Bokarchu. Very, very important, very important. Yes, Indus. You see covering, yes, I told you, square India, square length, that's it. Name of the river is also known as Sindhu. In Tibet, it is a name as Singhi Kamban or lion mouth, because the way it produces the water, you can say lion's mouth. Origin of the river, yes, Bokarchu in the Tibetan region near Mansarovar Lake. Mansarovar Lake, you know, is very auspicious. It's being treated very auspicious since long time. Mansarovar. Indus. Flow of the river. After flowing in the, yes, you can relate with the map also. I have sent you map. After flowing in the northwest direction between the Ladakh and Jaskar range, yes, I have mentioned about the Ladakh and Jaskar ranges. It passes through the Ladakh and Balochistan, and there it forms a very great landforms, great, and that's why it attracted lot of tourists out there. So after flowing in the northwest direction towards your Kashmir, between your Ladakh and Jaskar range, yes, you can see it passes through the Ladakh and Balochistan, Pak and Kashmir. It cuts across the Ladakh region, Ladakh range, forming a spectacular gorge near the Gilgit in Jammu and Kashmir, Gilgit. And it enters to Pakistan near Chillar in the Dartistan region. Yes, from Dartistan you can see it enters to the Pakistan region. And yes, Pakistan actually enjoys lot of water of Indus. and we have Indus Treaty also of 1950. Yes, you can see Indus Gorge in Gilgit. So beautiful structure. Dartistan region. That region, yes, Dartistan. Now it is a Pakistan, Pak occupied Kashmir, but it is a part of Kashmir, part of Pakistan. Yes. So river Indus is very, very important in forming the deep gorges also in Gilgit Baltistan, and Dartistan. In Dartistan region we have a such kind of a structure which actually promotes the tourism there. Yes. The Indus receives a number of tributaries. Yes, obviously such a big river will have such kind of tributaries, not tributaries, right tributaries, left tributaries also. Siok, Gilgit, Jaskar, Hunja, Zigar, Kaste, many. And it also repeats other territories like Khurram, Tochi, Gomal, Biwa and Sagar. They all originated in the Suleiman ranges. There is some ranges. From there, all rivers emerge and finally meet with the Indus Valley, Indus system. Sayok, Gilgit, Hunja river, Khurram river, Gomal river. There are many rivers. Not important for the examination purpose. UPSC will not ask you such question. But left bank tributaries are important. Jaskar and Panjnath. Panjnath means 5 rivers. Then you have to read about the Ravi, Bias, Satluj, everything. Jaskar and Panjnath. Indus. The river flows southward. Southward, yes, this direction southward towards down, and is in Panjant a little above Mitankot. Means from Panjat it gets a lot of tributaries and that connected with the Indus system. Panjat is the name given to the 5 rivers of Punjab. Yes, Satluj, Bias, Ravi, Chenab and Jhelum, and finally discharge into the Bay of Bengal. Arabian Sea east of your Karachi. You know, Indus flow in India only through the Indus, only Leh district and Jammu and Kashmir. You see the map. I have sent you the beautiful map. Follow down. Go to the down side. Have you reached? Yes. From you can see from near Mansarovar, Tibet. It started. Yes, Zangpo. In Tibet, we used to call we call Indus as a Zangpo. From there, we cross Sayok River. Yes, Sayok River. Chenab also. Ular Lake also. Gilgit. Yes, from Gilgit. From Dalistan region, it goes towards your Pakistan region. In that region, in western, that is in Indian subcontinent part, that northwestern frontier, we have lot of tributaries: Job, Gomal, Khurram, yes, Kunar. So it is not need to remember everything, every rivers or tributaries of the Indus, because most of the tributaries of Indus belong to the Pakistan. So that's why it is not necessary to remember every names of the tributaries of Indus. So we'll try to focus on the Indus system, which actually tributaries of Indus, which actually shares its boundary with the India. Jhelum and Chenab. Jhelum, important tributary of Indus, rises from the Vering, situated at the top of the Pir Panjal. Pir Panjal, Valley of Kashmir. Pir Panjal, yes. From Pir Panjal it originates. Jhelum. It flows through the Srinagar and the Ular Lake also before entering the Pakistan, and there form a very good gorge. It joins the Chenab near Jhar in Pakistan. Although it is a factual, but you can remember, yes, it is a Jhelum. It starts from the Pir Panjal of the Kashmir Valley. That's enough, more than enough. Chenab is the largest tributary in Indus. A very important fact. It formed by the 2 streams, Chandra and the Bagra, which joins at a trendy Himachal. Don't remember anything. Miss this kind of factual. It also known as the Chandra Bhaga. The river flows approximately before 1200 km before entering into Pakistan. So that's why Chenab is the longest tributary of your Indus that found in India. As you can see the Chenab in the map. Chenab, yes, you have. Yes, Chenab is formed. Yes, you can relate with the Chenab, yes, from Pir Panjal areas. Yes. Ravi is another important tributary of Indus. You go and see the map of Ravi. Ravi, yes. Himachal Pradesh, I think. Yes. It rises west of the Rohtang Pass, Kullu Hills of the Himachal Pradesh, and flows through the Chamba Valley of the state. Chamba Valley is a, you can say district, or you can say area of your Himachal Pradesh. Before entering Pakistan, joins the Sarai Sindhu and form the lying between the southeast part of the Pir Panjal and the Dauladhar ranges. You can say it in between your Pir Panjal and Dauladhar region. It forms the kind of delta, you can say. and that's why we have dam. Ranjit Sagar Dam is present on the river Ravi. Bias is another important tributary of the Indus. Yes, Bias, that starts from the Bias Kund near the Rohtang Pass. Rohtang Pass, yes, Himachal Pradesh. River flows through the Kulu Valley, yes, and form gorges at Kati and Logi in Dhauladhar range. It enters the Punjab plains where it meets the Satluj near Harike. It's okay, it's a factual. That's why we have Harike barrage, the meeting point of Bias and Satluj. Barrage means dam. Satluj originates in the Rakas, 27th point. Satluj is very, very important. Like Indus, it also originates from the Mansarovar at altitude of 4,500 in Tibet. Langchen Kambab is name given in Tibet region. Yes, it flows almost parallel to the Indus for approximately 400 km before entering India and comes out at a gorge at Rupar. Rupar, you know, it passes through the Sipli La, that is a pass in the Himalayan ranges, you know that, and enters the Punjab region. And it is also antecedent river, because Tibet is not part. That part of the Tibet is not a part of your Himalayan system, from where Mansarovar developed that time. A very important tributary, at it feeds the canal system of the Bhakra Nangal project. Yes, Bhakra Nangal project is totally based on this river system, Satluj. Yes, in this way you can relate whatever I taught you. Indus, river Mansarovar, area you see, a length in size, drain area you can see. Jhelum, Bering, correct, Berinang, altitude, Baralacha Pass, Chenab, near Rohtang, Himachal Pradesh, Bias, near Rohtang, same Himachal Pradesh, Satluj, once again your Indus. And what is your Bering? Bering means your Kashmir Valley. Yes, you can remember the factual things. I have completed. Any doubt?